First, I'd like to start by saying thank you for coming to my presentation. Today we'll be discussing the idea of seeking warmth. 75% of the world is covered in water, whether that be river, lakes, or the oceans. And among that, you have both hot or cold water. Today we'll be discussing how warm water affects mental health. We'll be doing that in 4 different parts. I'm going to touch on Eastern medicine, which includes acupuncture, hydrotherapy, and herbs. We're going to touch on warm water versus cold water in everyday use, showering versus bathing, and then finally drinking warm water versus cold water. So first we're going to start with Eastern medicine. Eastern medicine is considered more homeopathic, and it has much farther back lines that we can trace than Western medicine tends to. Several of their different forms of medicine included water. So you had hydrotherapy, where you would do exercises or stretches in water. You had things like hot springs, which were regular places for them to visit to soak and relax their muscles, soak up the minerals that are naturally in the water. And third, you had herbal treatments, which of course were different vegetables and roots and plants boiled in water. Water was the base of that. So water is very important because it has definite healing powers. Another way to do that is warm versus cold. So both of them have their own benefits. It just depends on what you're looking to do with that. So cold water increases circulation, which is important. So athletes will use ice water baths to increase circulation after hard training to get the blood pumping faster. And it also reduces pressure in the body. So that's why you would ice a wound, because it reduces the building pressure that naturally forms. On the other side, you have warm water, which calms the nervous system. And a calm nervous system means less anxiety and less stress, and that's definitely beneficial for mental health. You also have cleansing the body, which would focus on removing bad things from the body and replacing it with healthier processes so that you have less gunk built up in your body. And then, of course, it relieves pain in muscles and the joints. It helps them release the stress and tension that builds up in them so that you can heal or decompress after a hard workout. So from there it goes from showering and bathing. Both are completely valid choices as far as hygiene goes, but research has shown that bathing actually is better for you. They found that if you bathe twice a week in warm water, it'll increase your overall happiness. It of course increases blood flow, which is good for your body, releases muscle tension, and it improves skin condition. The other way we use water, of course, is to drink it. So drinking warm water versus cold water. Cold water uses extra energy to be absorbed into your body, therefore making it harder to process, taking energy away from other processes in the body, as well as dehydrating you, because all of your blood vessels kind of shrivel up because they're like, ooh, cold. So the alternative being hot water. Hot water or warm water is really good for you. It helps you hydrate faster because your body can metabolize it. It doesn't have to bring it up to temperature first. It's, of course, cleansing and then calming, so it can help calm anxiety and stress and therefore reduce mental health issues. And then, of course, from there you also have tea and coffee, which have their own personal added benefits to them. So overall, the idea is that warm water helps you be calm. It reduces your stress. It increases the health in your body. Your body's not using as much energy. So it's good for you overall, but it also affects your mental health, because when you're stressed and you're decompressed and you're calm, it helps reduce anxiety and stress and helps you live a more balanced life. Thank you for coming.